All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the chat. Welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony, and we're about to get started here today. As you can see on the thumbprint, it says Democratic Clown Show, right? This is a clown show here, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to talk about it and we're going to get started. I figure that I do like to troll, and today I'm gonna troll the richest Democrats and Republicans. Remember I said before, because rhinos is no different than the liberal. Rhinos meaning a Republican name only, but through and through they are Democrats as well. And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna go ahead and go in on them as I normally do. These are clowns that belong in the clown circus. You have a three-ring circus, lions, and so forth. And one of our main attract acts are the clowns. People don't like clowns. I'm not scared of them, but I don't care for them. They're not funny to me. I don't find them funny. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I'm funnier than the clown. You know what I mean? And I don't have to put on paint and makeup to look silly, but they do look creepy though. Do look creepy though, you know what I'm saying? So was gonna do this ride for $10, but I said no. Nat, welcome to the chat. Omega, we're gonna be doing the clown show, the Democratic, and this is for the what is it, the Rhino Republicans as well. So we're gonna be doing both of them. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get started with it. And people will just pick up on it later. They'll just pick up on it. So here we go. So at the top of the clown show list, and yeah, man, this is funny. If I was at home in my home studio, I would already have the clown music already queued up. You know what I'm saying? In fact, and things. Let me see if I can find some clown music because this is a clown show here, ladies and gentlemen. Three ring circus. With the Dems and the old low down rhino Republicans, which is nothing more than liberal Democrats in disguise, like Transformers. So we're gonna go ahead and get started, though, man. Welcome to the chat. This is gonna be hilarious and funny. I got some clowning to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so Chuck Schumer, right? So we're gonna go down through the estimated wealth of these people. No wonder Chuck Schumer said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Chuck Schumer is the number one clown in the Democratic Party, right? The minority leader, right? Guess what his estimated worth is? It says here it's approximately $7 million as of 2025. Oh my gosh. No, no, Chuck Schumer? Not Chuck Schumer. Oh, Chucky is worth it says estimated $7 million as of 2025. This is according to Forbes analysis, right? This is what they have released as the latest financial disclosure. No wonder Chuck Schumer says, you know what, shut it down. Look at these guys are multi-millionaires, and we're going to talk about these clowns as I go down the list, though. But Chuck Schumer is the number one clown. Look at this buffoonery here, coonery. You know what I'm saying? In this case, buffoonery, because there's no reason in the world that these people should have shut down the government, but they did, leading with Chuck Schumer. This guy is worth $7 million, ladies and gentlemen. Is Chuck Schumer hurting? Absolutely not. Let's take a breakdown of his wealth, right? We could talk about that Park Slope, Brooklyn condo that he purchased back in 1982 for $157,000, right? Look at it; it's valued at 3 million. Man, what you guys get caught up on these politicians, man? You guys got to stop, man. Stop worshiping these people, man, because these are millionaires, man. Millionaires, right? And they don't relate to the poor. I mean, look at them. They act like they're doing a big. He's a reason why the snap is cut off in the first place. That's why I got to clown these fools, right? So as I was saying, so his 157 million. I mean, I'm sorry, $157,000 home. that he purchased back in 1982 in Park Slope. Anybody that been in Brooklyn and visited Park Slope, the place where they got the brownstones and everything, you know what I'm saying? Shit, this thing is worth $3 million just right there. We're talking mortgages of 100,000 to 250,000. And that was probably back then. Look at it. Retirement savings. He got all this going on. Chuck Schumer, his worth is $7 million. How can a $7 million man gonna relate to the common average person like us? No wonder he shut the government down, right? He shut it down. We're gonna get to rest of them in a minute, ladies and gentlemen. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about this stuff, though. Can you guys understand this type of stuff? $7 million net worth, right? What is his what do they pay a senator these days? 174,000 to approximately maybe 200, maybe $250,000 a year for a senator. How does this senator make $7 million? That's the question. This is what we're gonna have to. This is the question right here. How does he do it? And you notice that he's the ringleader out of all the other clowns. Look at him standing out in front. I ain't got to put a name to it, but Chuck Schumer is the number one clown worth $7 million, ladies and gentlemen. How does that happen? Right? Look at that. We're going to go right down the list. This is the guy right here, right? And this is 2025 stats. You know why? Because I pulled it up already, right? Look at this. It has been said, we're talking about the Democrat minority senator leader, right? It's said that his estimated net worth is 900 to 1.2 million as of 2025, right? This is what is going on here, right? But in a sense, $7 million, that's more likely though. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you know, the median for state net worth for a senator, I should say, is approximately 1.8 million adjusted. How are these guys making all this money? Where's the businesses? What do they do? Been in Senate for a long time. That's why we need term limits, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go down here. Look at this here. You got Rick Scott, Florida senator. Look at him, right? 327 to 549 million. Look at this, man. This is crazy, man. This is millions, right? Mark Warner, Democrat of Virginia. He's worth what is it? 215 to 260 million dollars in venture capital. Columbia Capital, Ricketts. I mean Pete Ricketts, Mitt Romney. This is actually Omega's boy right here. I'm just joking. The look at the Republican out of Utah, 245 million. And the list goes on and on and on. Mitch McConnell, look at this. Mitch McConnell is worth like 35 to 95 million dollars in the it says in investments and stuff like that. Have anybody ever wondered about these people, man, these clowns? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look at him. And he ain't butter. Look at it. And these are rhinos. Old ass Mitch McConnell, right? What about Cory Booker? 5 to 10 million dollars, right? Look at Cory Booker, right? How do these people make their money? Talking about what they invest in. You got to have money to invest. Where are they getting this money from? Oh, I know why. The USAID fund, one of the largest slush funds that they were ripping people off. And there were some other ones too. Isn't that funny with these clowns? You know what I'm saying? Going right down the list, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at them, man. That's why I say, man, I think the thumbnail print that I put up here is absolutely correct, because you got once again Chuck Schumer right out in front on the clown list. This should be the clown soup line, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Because these are nothing but clowns on the left and on the right. Look at these clowns, these buffoons and idiots, right? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, look at I mentioned about Bernie Sanders before, right? What about Bernie, ladies and gentlemen? Bernie been in that man. You look at it. He oh man, gosh, man. Oh man, this is pitiful. This is pitiful, ladies and gentlemen. This is pitiful. Man, I'm just going down the list, man. Oh my goodness. Do y'all know that man, Rick Scott is like $500 million? You know what I'm saying? Man, look at this here. Schumer's is they got down here $1 million. Remember I said seven? Because I pulled it up. According to Forbes, he's actually worth $7 million. I'm talking about Chuck Schumer, right? This is no joke, man. Look at this type of stuff here, boy. This is funny, man. These people here, man, are something else, man. These are clowns. And this is the reason. Look at the reason why. And ain't no reason for shutting this thing down. They got you know, they got the government shut down. People can't get their snap now. Now it has been already now that because of the court thing, Trump went on ahead and okayed it, for the emergency fund, so people can be able to get their snaps or programs and all this other kind of stuff, you know. But let's look at it for what it really is. If they would have agreed and came down the middle on the CR, on the clean CR, we wouldn't, people wouldn't be in this situation in the first place. You know what I'm saying? But oh no, we got to go ahead and put other funding and other things in there, and illegal immigrants in there that are not even part of the United States. Let alone we're going to carry they behind too. It's already bad enough that we got to carry dead weight in this country, but we got to carry other people's crap too that don't even belong here. Oh hell no, ladies and gentlemen. Oh hell no. So this is why I'm just doing this clown thing though, because this is your politicians. Look at the clown outfit. That's what it is. This is how I truly see them. I don't see a man and woman dignified in a suit. I look at them as clowns in a clown show, right? Because this is exactly what you got, man, right here. This is clownery and buffoonery at the highest level, right? And I'm starting off with Chuck Schumer first. And the reason I'm banging on him on the left, as I said, because they're all the same game, man. It's a game, ladies and gentlemen. In this case, it's a clown show. It's a circus. The political party is a circus, especially coming from this end right here. If I were to take this away, because look at it, the on the MAGA side, they presented a clean CR. I mean, anybody read it? I'm actually going to challenge people on the left. Have they actually looked at the clean CR for themselves instead of listening to what politicians on the left have to say? Have you actually looked at it yourself? Have you actually looked at the clean CR bill that they've been trying to pass for like 14 times and they keep shooting it down on the left? Have you guys actually looked at it for yourself? Or are you going to allow these clowns to tell you that it's bad? And this is the problem, though, with people on the left that I have a problem with because they listen to clowns. These are the people that I put that thumbnail print up, and I'm gonna start doing this more often because you think that I'm gonna listen to you if you're listening to a clown or a buffoon or idiot. You know what I'm saying? You can put Trump in that outfit if you want to. It don't matter to me. But here's the thing about it. If you looked at his CR bill, you looked at any of his policies, it's light years ahead of what they've been doing on the left. Because at least he has a policy. At least he's adhering to it. At least he said a promise made is a promise kept. What politician you know that kept their promise, kept their word to the American people? Little to none, right? Let's go on and keep it real. I think out of the one I won't necessarily call him a clown is John Featherman. He has more sense as a politician than all of his Democratic members in his own damn party. And that's saying a whole lot right there. Because outside of that, you ain't got nothing but a bunch of clowns, idiots, and buffoons or whatever. They go ahead and shut the government down. And this lets you know, Chuck, you think $7 million Chuck Schumer give a damn about people that's on Snap or not? Look at him. AOC, you think that she give a damn? right? Hakeem Jeffries, you think he give a damn? They still getting a paycheck. Y'all do realize this, right? They're still getting a paycheck. In fact, all of them are getting a paycheck. The only ones that are affected with this thing, people that's happen to work for the government, the airlines, and so forth. Look at what's been going on. You got other people, government workers. Why these people that are politicians, especially senators, congressmen, they still getting paid. Guys, you got to wake up. They're still getting paid. And they're trying to play you. They're trying to play the American people as idiots, right? And then you got this thing with Mondami. Come on now. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous, right? This is ridiculous. Just look at it for yourself. All you got to do is pull this information up. This is public, supposed to be public information. You know, Nasty Pelosi, right? Elizabeth Warren, you know what I'm saying? They're all are millionaires, ladies and gentlemen. Jasmine Hood, Rat Crockett, all of them wearing these clown outfits. But at the same time, look at their net earnings, look at their net worth, never held down a real job, got a law degree, never really used it. Come on now, let's wake up. Let's start telling the truth now, right? Whether you want to agree with it or not. But the people that voted for these people, especially on the left, I'm talking about the Rhino Republicans too. These are your clowns, buffoons, and idiots, right? This is what people voted for. To constantly be lied in your face every time. What policy that they have made that's gonna hurt, that's gonna actually help the people? It's been hurting the people. You ain't gonna put this on Trump about this shutdown. This shutdown came from Chuck Schumer and his Democratic, and he was afraid anyway. AOC is on his ass about to take his position. He got to show some backbone. And now look what happened. Because Trump gonna get his way. See what these stupid idiots, you know what they're gonna do? What are we over 30 days with this nonsense? Trump just may get his way at the 61-day mark. What's gonna end up happening, ladies and gentlemen? He's gonna do mass permanent firing and reducing these particular NGOs and so forth in the government. He said he was going to drain the swamp, shrink the thing anyway. He said he was going to do it. Trump said that he was going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. And it looks like he's gonna end up getting his wish because the Dems don't have anything for him. This is what they thought was their only leverage. It's backfiring right in their face, right? And at the American expense, the people, right, that are suffering the most, while these millionaires, right, all of them are millionaires. You name me the person, ain't not one of them that I have seen that's not a millionaire. They're all millionaires. Do you absolutely think that they give a damn about your ass? Whether you on Snap or not, they not over here worrying about ish. No, they made most of their money. Let's go and say it for what it really is. Off the backs of the taxpayer dollar, which is us. And that's why I'm mad as hell about it. You think I'm gonna believe that? Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course, when you steal money from people. Yeah, I said it. Ain't no waste and fraud. Ain't no, it's fraud, but it ain't waste. And it ain't abuse. It's more than abuse. We're talking theft. We're talking about criminal stuff, right? They supposed to have put the money where it's supposed to be. Do y'all realize that our wealth in this country has been taken from us from these low down ass clown ass politicians? And you want to sit up in here and go to bat for these people, man? Shit, I should be getting likes up the wazoo. But here's the problem with it, man, because I should be getting my likes up, whether you Democrat or Republican. Well, you suck in the you know what of the Democratic Party. How is that going to benefit you? They're going to take you, leading you straight off the damn cliff. And they don't give a damn about you. That's the thing about it. Stop putting your loyalty in the party. It's not the party, it's the politics behind it. I'm talking about policies that's behind it. Fuck a party. And that's what many of y'all caught up on. You care more about the party than the policy. What difference does it make? Even when if John Featherman, right? If he's the only one that I see that make more sense from the damn Democrats. He should have been MAGA. It makes more sense. The rest of them don't. He's like the brightest one out of their own party. The rest of them is nothing but clowns and buffoons. in a costume. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. So what? I tell him to his face he's a clown. Look at these clowns. So we already talked about Chuck Schumer already. Mr. $7 million man, though, and look at Nancy Pelosi, 250 million. How do you make all this money? We know why. Come on now. All of them are millionaires, right? And like I said, my likes should have been up, man. That's why I say, man, I know who the people that really rock with me. And one thing I can say about it though, we should be all locked in step with each other on what I'm saying right now. We all should be locked in step with each other, but we're not. So that means that I don't know why you're in here then, because if I ain't got no likes, I mean, what do you? I mean, I've been over here speaking facts and truth about stuff that people don't question or whatever. What's up with that? Why is all these millionaires? This is the question though. Where's my likes at, man? We're talking about million. What's the deal? You mean to tell me that you support this type of stuff? You know, I don't want to hear nothing but a like, because I've been speaking for maybe about 30 minutes. And those that have heard me clearing out. It should be a question, it should be agreement of what I'm saying. Most of your senators and congressmen in politics, look at them. They're millionaires off of the backs of the people. And I can't even understand why my likes ain't even up. And it shows that who rocks with truth and who don't. This is why most of these politicians look at y'all like a bunch of idiots, really. That's how they treat you, like you dumb and stupid. Ain't none of you asked that question at all. No, I don't want to hear your bullshit, man. You should be on board. So you happy with these politicians making all this damn money? Yeah, that's crazy as hell. See, it's stupid people like you, whatever your name is. But you's an idiot. You come in here as an idiot. You one of these old knuckle dragging idiots instead of asking the question for real about these politicians. And you over here chained to a party. Shame, I should slap you silly. Let alone, you need to get slapped in the face like twice, 2 times for being so dumb and stupid. Where my likes at, man? I'm over here speaking truth. And you want to just sit up in here and just allow these politicians to constantly rip you off? Where's my likes at? Where is my likes? This is the problem, man. And y'all still refuse. I know there's a lot of slapping I need to do, man. Somebody need to get slapped in the face a couple of times. Slap, slap. You know what I'm saying? That's what slaps some sense into some people. That's really what has to happen. It's called me the face slapping man, because that's what has to happen. Idiots that don't question these politicians. They done made their money, stole money. That's why theft is in there. It's a little bit of all that. Fraud is the number one thing. This is an operation. Nothing more than just taking money, right? It's called laundering money, and that's what they did off the backs of the American taxpayer. That's a fact. That's a fact. And then you mean to tell me that you're gonna be able to sit up? Man, come on, you ain't even in America. Why should it matter to you? You all the way in India, man. How is this a matters to? I'm talking about for American people, for American problem, right? How in the hell does this relate to somebody in India? Come on now, no disrespect to you, man. But I'm talking about people in America, right? This is an American issue. I'm so glad that Trump raised that H-1B work visas up to $100,000. That'll be the slowdown from attracting a lot of people from India, though. You know what I'm saying? That's a good thing about that. That gravy train is over. It ain't gonna be a lot of people from India coming over here stealing American jobs. I'll tell you that much. Trump put a break on that, though. Yeah, what I mean, if they're not interested in listening to me, bro, they wouldn't be in here. They wouldn't be in here. That's the thing. And I ain't gonna talk to no damn body from no India. You know what I'm saying? Who goes to India, man? I don't even fuck with y'all food, man. You got a whole bunch of sanitation issues over there in India. Yeah, I said it. You got enough problems. Fix India first before you start talking about America. You old curry smelling old goat, you. You need to go ahead and clean up your situation in India, man. Ain't nobody listening to no damn Indian. You can't tell me shit. Ain't nobody give a damn about. And then go back over there and make your country great. And then that way you can start getting more tourists over there. You got probably clean up New Delhi. You got a lot of cleanup to do in India for an Indian criticize and talk to me about America. You don't even relate to you. I'm only here allowing your ass to go over here. You got bigger issues than we do. You got a sanitation problem. That's your number one problem right there. Your water is polluted. You got idiots that poo in the loo. You got to have a public service announcement. How dumb y'all are over there. Who poos out there in the mother? Who poos in the river? When you got restrooms, who don't clean up after themselves? Don't wipe behind themselves, nasty and dirty. You can't tell me nothing, man. You know what it is. Everybody know what it is. That's why they go in on you in India on these social media channels. It's a filthy place, man. It ain't a place that you want to go over there and be unclean and uncivilized. Because only civilized people don't have these sanitation issues at all. I can go to Japan right now. Japan kicking y'all butt on sanitation issues. We kicking your butt on sanitation issues. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. No, you fix your country. I know about your country, and you know what I'm talking about. You got sanitation issues, and that's a fact. You got more problems in India than you do in clean places. Let's go ahead and say that. And I'm saying it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know what the word racism mean with your stupid butt. Go ahead and talk to your Prime Minister Moody. Go deal with that. Y'all got problems over there. Don't be talking about telling me about what America is. That's one thing about it, boy. Look at you, boy. That's why I got you heated. Boy, you can't tell me nothing about India. Boy, I ain't trying to go over there no damn India. I deal with first world nations. I'm not going in a place where I can't drink the water. Are you crazy? And have a belly full of parasites? No, I'm not trying to do that. You know what I'm saying? So you got me mistaken. I don't follow any of that political correctness bullshit. Not on this channel. I tell you for what it really is. You know what I'm saying? And you're gonna get used to people like me telling you, you know, Mr. Indian man. I'm only allowing you to do this because I'm gonna get back on my topic. But you know what I'm gonna do right now? Because I already know what I'm gonna do on this. Go ahead, because I'm gonna get back on topic. Yeah. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for one moment here. Hold on for a minute. Hit the wrong button. Hold on for a minute. Let me see here. What we have here. Oh yeah, there we go. Hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay. I hit the wrong button. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I hit the wrong button. But yeah, but other than that, so that's basically what it is though, man. I just having fun. I like trolling them back. I have my way of trolling. Okay, but other than that, I do love to troll though, and think, oh yeah, I got them covered. I got you. I got you now. There we go. I usually have my mods that do this type of stuff. There we go. So as I was saying, see, like I said, I troll too when trolls get in here. But there's no dang on way in the world that we should be accepting this type of stuff. These rich politicians, look at them. Look at them, man. This is crazy as heck, you know? But I ain't gonna have nobody telling us about Americans coming from another country. You ain't gonna do that in this channel. And I'm gonna troll you a little bit, then I'm gonna kick you out, because we Americans, we don't have to we deal with our own situations. And we definitely sure in hell don't need no help from India, a country that have sanitation issues. We don't need to deal with that because it'd be a stinky situation. And I'm here just saying the truth. We ain't gonna, we don't hear nobody from that. They got sanitation issues. Fix, like I told him from India, fix your situations in India first. You don't come over here and telling us what we need to do in America, you know, because the last I've seen, it ain't a place that you want to visit. I'll have no ambitions of going there with India. Nope. Or in any other nation that ain't sanitation first. I'm used to hot, soapy water, right? I'm used to a shower, right? I'm used to drinking water where I don't get a belly full of parasites. You feel me? So I'm not even about that life. You know what I'm saying? So, but back to the point now. I bet you Chuck Schumer and them ain't got to worry about that type of stuff, do they? Look at this stuff, man. You know, look at them. It's a damn shame, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the few likes and things like that. But yeah, don't let that stop you. So where was I now? So we already talked about Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi. Um, what's the name? Elizabeth Warren, 70 million. Elizabeth Warren's worth $70 million, right? Yep, we're gonna talk about him, man, because there's a lot of them. Hakeem Jeffries, he's up there too. Cory Booker, sorry I said it before, between 5 and 10 million. Let me see here. We have old Rich Mitch McConnell, 35 to $95 million. You know what I'm saying? Look at that. We can go on and name them. We can go on and name them. These all politicians, man. Bernie Sanders, already talked about him. AOC talked about her too, right? These are your main ones over here, right? That's making all this money off the backs of the American people, and they want to play you like you're dumb and stupid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, look at it. John Fetterman is like worth $150,000 to $80,000. So this is him. You got retired old in Michigan, right? Remember her, old Debbie Spend It Now, right? She have a historically $585,000. Really, when you think about it, with Debbie Stabenow, she's kind of considered on the low totem pole compared. She's like one of our Michigan over here in Michigan, right? To Debbie Stabenow. But when she retired, and that's not bad, $585,000. You know what I'm saying? That's something still a little bit more reasonable as opposed to these other people that are rich millionaires, man. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Man, this is a darn shame, man. And the American people are going for it. Look at it. They're going for it. It says here that Chuck Schumer is richer than 99% Americans, right? You know what I'm saying? He really is. Chuck Schumer alone. It's no surprise to me why he shut the government down in the first place. He got to prove to his party that he's still the man. He ain't gonna take nothing from Trump. When in fact it's hurting his own people, you idiot. That's the whole thing about it, though. It's hurting their own people who voted for them. And I want these people that wake up instead of arguing against me. I'm not saying for y'all per se, but I'm saying people that I know or people that I don't know. When I have these conversations and I pick some of these liberals up and we try to have a conversation, it usually goes south with them. They are the ones that get triggered first. It's like when I ask them a question or they ask me a question, I'm gonna tell you how it goes. It goes a little something like this. They ask me a question, I answer it. Or they don't like the answer to the question and I to their question, right? They don't like the answer to their question. So they want to overtalk you, get upset like that one liberal woman do, tell me that I'm a liar. And then and here's another thing. We haven't benefit even in the black community. This is another reason. I love bringing this up because once again, liberal whites and others got to really know the truth. They want to act like Bernie Sanders and all these people were such saviors to the black community. They weren't. Clinton weren't. The Clinton administration was not. Biden administration was not. Can you think of the crime bill 1994? Do you guys, some of you may or may not been around, but anybody that been a Generation X know what I'm talking about because there was a three-strike bill was included in there. We're talking about mass incarceration of black and brown alone, right? The war on drug campaign and all this stuff. Where you think all that came from? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about the actual crime bill, right? This is the one right here where a lot of these prisons was privatized. They were owned by the state, and a lot of them now are privately owned. Why you think Boys in the Hood and all this other type of movies? This was just propaganda on the weak minded in the inner cities, though. Crack cocaine and all that was put out here on the streets deliberately. You know what I'm saying? So we can go into the history of it, ladies and gentlemen. But when you look at it, these were leftist policies, right? Keeping it real. Nothing but clowns. Let me see here. Jason says high number of people living with HIV. HIV. Oops. For decades, New York State has more people living with HIV, right? PLNW than any other state, and it still carries the largest number of PLWH today. Yeah, there's a lot of HIV, STDs as well here in America. I tell you, what's a big hotbed is over there in Houston, Texas. You know, there are other parts that spread it out as well too, with sexually transmitted disease as well too. You know what I'm saying? There's a big thing going on right now. But back to my point, and things. But back to my point. These are clowns. This is why I look at these politicians, man. And I'm encouraging people to stop being married to a party. You should be married to their policy. If the policy doesn't make sense, you got to know how to read policies, read between the lines. You know, got to admit, for people that hate Trump, I'm going to tell you something. The thing I like about with Trump is simply this. Once again, he is a man of his word. You have to admit, if you were to go under his presidential campaign that he ran on back in 2024, it's called Agenda 47. Look at those 20 bullet points, and you ask yourself, did he or did he not keep his promise on all those 20 bullet points right there? You see what I'm saying? Versus a politician like Zohan Mandami, Lion Kami Mandami, you know what I'm saying? He got busted recently with this line talking about his relative is his and the hijab and all this other stuff, which is a bunch of lies. He tells everything and anything. Mandami never had a job in his life. He's a rich kid trust fund baby. He's another one, right? His parents is millionaires. What can a person, a trust fund baby, his medals never been tested? He don't even have no medals. And then they're gonna allow him to be mayor of New York. Boy, boy, I tell you, boy, you can't fix stupidity, man. You know, they're gonna allow a radical ass Muslim, right, in this country. Somebody took my like away. Oh, there you go. I was like saying, damn, must have been a mistake. I appreciate it. I ain't gonna beat you up. I can use all the likes that I can get. But no, but that's what it is though, man. You know what I'm saying? He's too radical. You even have people that are Muslim that's saying, hey, this guy here don't speak for me. But apparently he's speaking for a lot of people over there, speaking this communist, Marxist, socialist type of politics and stuff like that. He's going to be very bad for New York and he's going to be very bad for this country. We don't need that. We don't need him. And hopefully he don't get in there. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can dodge another bullet because there's nothing good going to come from Mondami. The same dude that stood next to the guy that was behind the first New York City bombing. There's a photo of him and him together. He would not denounce these terrorist Muslim groups, which is very, very, it should be concerning to a lot of people. He's letting you know right up front what he is. He's a radical ass Muslim, you know what I'm saying? That speak hatred in this country. And if he gets in here and people in New York that don't know, they're gonna find out what it really is. Because he don't have no ambitions about assimilating and being American. He's a rich kid. And one thing nobody ain't been scared of is somebody with a lot of money that he probably never been into a fight before in his life, probably. One of these old rich kid trust fund babies. And I'll be damned, I remember listening to him. They even had one over there in Canada. They got him out of there. Can someone say Justin Trudeau, another rich kid trust fund baby? We got to go over here and listen to these people. Ain't worked a job in his life. The son of Fidel Castro. He looks a lot like him too, doesn't he? I'm talking about Justin Trudeau, right? We already know you guys are having communist people sneaking in, trying to claim that they're for the mouth of the people and stuff like that. Cuba could have been so much better than what it was. And you can't sit up here and tell me that Fidel was a great man and all that stuff. Where he did a lot of killing of his own people that had a different ideology. Communism over there in Cuba didn't work. You get the pistol under Fidel, and it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? You know? So that's the thing about it. Yeah, we know the whole history of it, Che Guevara and all that stuff. We know the history of it, you know? So that's why I say there's no working communist socialist programs that truly work. You know what I'm saying? But these are clowns in these outfits. Look at them. You know, that's why I put that thumbnail picture up in there. The Democratic clowns and the leader, the ringleader is Chuck Schumer, Mr. $7 million man. He's still a millionaire no matter what the amount is. These people do not relate to you. You're considered nothing to them than a useful bottom feeder, is what it is. They got terms for this type of stuff. They ain't gonna sit to the table with the poor and the needy. No, all they do is sit behind here in these ivory towers. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate it. They sit up here on these or the 100s. Yeah, thank you. They sit up on here on these ivory towers and shit, trying to dictate policy back down to us. All of them are millionaires. Look at them. All of them are. Every last one of them. We really don't at all, man. This is a bunch of crap and buffoonery. You got these people over here, man. I done listed how many of them, man. I've been brought up Elizabeth Warren too, Nancy Pelosi too, all of them, man. You know, look at it, Mitch McConnell. Oh my gosh, man, what the Gnostic Rose? A Gnostic Rose, or good Gnostic Rose says, until our government supports the people over millionaires, the problem will persist. Persist. Yeah, exactly. And this is what it is. We're looking at fascism right here. You know, these are the people. When they want to say corporations and millionaires, they are correct. But I'm even calling this BS out. The people in the clown suits are the millionaires dictating all. Look at it. They want to tell us what to do. Under the old Constitution, the reason that a lot of them are in those positions because they're supposed to be representation of the people, not the people representation. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to represent us because we voted for them. We put them in office, right? To carry out the Constitution, not an overreach of government. All of them are overreaching the government. That's right, brother. Yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's what it is. It's an overreach of government. At least I can say this. This ain't about worshiping a man. A man is trying to reduce government and go back to the way it was. The founder and fathers never planned on government to be 100% big than the way it is. It's too much government, 30% tops. We can all handle a 30% government. If we go back to the Constitution, right? We have a 30% government where we don't have an overreach on what we can say, what we can do, and we adhere to the Constitution. It's a sad thing that you got to walk around here in order for you to walk around with a firearm concealed. You got to have carrying a concealed license or concealed pistol license, which is absolutely crazy. Let no one infringe on the Constitution, right? These amendments. We have 27 of them, right? But our constitutional rights have been infringed upon, especially in the blue states. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Ganassi says we've got to reform the government and policy forces. They are all for the billionaires. Absolutely, 100%. They are for the billionaires. It's a billionaire club that are dictating and controlling these politicians. And this is what they're basically saying that, hey, play ball. You can make a few $1 million. You put this policy in, that policy in. That's fascism right there, man. But you got corporations and billionaires and corporations that are playing with people in their lives. They've been playing with our lives. They've been playing with our lives, right? Got us in every war. They make more money. If it ain't a war, they're going to go ahead and false flag it. So no matter where it is, they always come out on top and win it. It's that the American people got to start waking up. Really, the world got to start waking up because this is actually bigger than the American thing, to keep it real. Because the longer people are rocked to sleep and fall for this BS stuff and listening to these clowns in these clown outfits, because that's what they are. These ain't nothing but effing clowns that's trying to dictate and trying to put more policy, more laws, case laws, this and that. The Senate, they all have degrees. And I'm talking about a law degree, all of them. Ganache says, not to mention, what about what happened with AI? I mean, with let me see, AI and the crime prediction program. Yeah, that's the thing about it. Because I remember watching Minority Report, right? You remember the movie Minority Report with what's his name? Tom Cruise, right? Which was a good movie. They're able to predict what the person were going to do before they did it, right? Right? But with the AI crimes, they can go ahead, and I'm sure they're gonna probably be on it because it's starting to open up the door with this AI stuff, you know. Ganache says here it is thought. Those of us who are truly for America and the American people get called terrorists for standing up for our rights. Yeah, and not only that though. I mean, but yeah, you're absolutely right about that because a lot of them have been what is it? Brainwashed to the point of believing these clowns. They worship these clowns. I bet you they haven't really thought about it because on the news, the so-called mainstream news, news media, they're not going to sit up here and tell you about what they are they network. Some of these people don't even know that they even are all millionaires. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about your politicians. Most of your politicians are millionaires and they're billionaire controllers. Oh man, that control them. You know what I'm saying? They haven't even thought that far to even know that, you know? They want to keep saying that Trump is the problem. You're misinformed. If you really think that Trump is the problem when we got a bigger problem, it's just what Ganache said. We're talking about billionaires, unelected people that have been running our government. They've been controlling our wars and everything now, right? It's pretty obvious as to what is going on, and they hate Trump. He's supposed to be a billionaire in the billionaire club with them, but he's not. Why is that, right? Why is he being attacked so much and not these other people, right? He's been under attack more than these other people, just keeping it real. Yes, here, Nickel, let me see here. It says it's called Minority Report, and they are uploading it to AI, which means it's like predicting the future. Yeah, exactly. And I don't understand how they are going to um, legitimize it. Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. They're gonna find a way for it, though. Believe you and me, they're gonna actually do that. You know, which is scary regards to this type of stuff because AI, if you think about it, ladies and gentlemen, it can take your what? It can take your identity and ruin you if they really wanted to, they could have you as a pedo. This is how dangerous this stuff is. And I'm glad you brought this up with AI because this is going to be the new threat in the future, ladies and gentlemen. And heaven forbids if that social credit system doesn't if that wasn't being affected here in America like they have in China, this is how you control people, right? You get them to play along and play ball, right? Social credit system, right? With the AI thing. If you don't do what we say, this what can happen. I mean, you know, you can be considered a murderer, a thief, whatever the case may be. You have feds showing up at your door for something that you didn't do. It's all AI generated. AI has is so smart enough that it can destroy your reputation as a person. Think about that, man. This is like Minority Report on the Minority Report 2.0, man. It really is. Ganache says, brother, you need to look into Iran Contra and Trump Epstein connection. You say you won't regret it. I'm gonna look at it. I'm gonna definitely look at it. Like I said, I'm open to a lot of things. The Iran Contra, I know that there was some things around there. I was young myself, but they got in trouble with that because again, it was drugs and dope being ran through Iran and things like that back to the United States. They were cooking it over there and brought it back. This is the reason why we had that war on drugs. I don't know how old you are, but you remember the war on drugs with Ronald Reagan? You remember that? Remember the Oliver North and all that stuff? Well, yeah, it's a connection with that for sure. Because when we start really thinking about it, crack cocaine, right? Cocaine was being flooded. Yeah, right? I mean, yeah, it ties into today, exactly. But you do remember, right? in the black community, the FBI undercover agents will come into the community, black communities, and teach young black men how to cook, how to make crack cocaine from cocaine. Cocaine was the actual what we call this was the real hidden Trojan horse, really, because cocaine powder, crack cocaine. Yeah, I remember it. Can't forget that shit. Yeah, I know. We lost a lot of but you but here's the thing about it though, too. Yeah, here's the thing about the crack era, right? I was over here listening to Black Corp channel, and I was going to say the same thing he said. When the meth hit, it hit in the white communities, out in the rural white areas, right? What crack cocaine to blacks was meth to whites in these rural areas, right? When they had their thing. Though, I mean, you still had some whites that was coming into, like I'm over here in Detroit, right? You had blacks, I mean, I'm sorry, whites that were coming into Detroit looking for crack cocaine because it was so addictive, right? Just look at Tim Allen. Y'all remember Tim the Tool Man Allen, that dude from Home Improvement and all that, Santa Claus and all that stuff. It was said people that I knew him when he was on drugs, and he would come into the inner cities of Detroit looking for crack cocaine. You know what I'm saying? Before he got it, but this is before Hollywood and all that stuff. Disney cleaned him up. You see what I'm saying? But it was true. He wasn't the only one. There was many of them coming into the inner cities just for crack. Hold on for one moment, guys. I got to use the restroom. All right, I'm back though. Sorry about that. But yeah, man. So you're talking about some good stuff, man. Oh yeah, the Ford. I'm going to paint my 1982 Ford Bronco. Is that the yeah, you must be talking about the what's his name? You talking about OJ Simpson edition? Yeah, because that was the one that everybody white. Remember he had that white one? Yeah. But other than that though, man, that Iran Contra, that crack epidemic and stuff like that, that was purposely designed and done, man. It was purposely done. And this is the reason now. I had an uncle that got on that stuff. A lot of y'all had relatives that got strung out on that stuff. And they ain't never been the same or not here no more. Crack is so bad, man. Boy, I tell you, meth is even worse. It's all bad, man. Drugs is bad. But, but I remember that. And it's something to be said though, man. Coming out of that era, we was in the dope era, the drug era, man. That's exactly what it was by design. It's the same people that's in these clown outfits. You know what I'm saying? Because I really would like to have put the regular face in the clown outfits, but I said no, I just do the whole clown thing because everybody can reference that though too. You should not be married to a particular party. It's not about the party, ladies and gentlemen. It's about the policies. The policies have to make sense. It's not the party. But see, you got to keep in mind, a lot of people have came up off of that brainwashing stuff where it's about the policy, I mean the party, right? Because no matter if somebody have a D or R next to their name, they think that that's good for them. Think about it. Now I'm gonna take this. Now let's take Trump out of the situation for one moment, right? And let's just deal with the parties themselves, right? The parties themselves. Do you know that? I mean, look at it. I got family that voted Democrat all their life, right? And I always bring this up. Look at the black community. Look at it when who gave up the black vote? It was Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King gave up the black vote for the Democrats. Look at it. And soon after, look at it. At one time, we was married over at 80% rate prior to this, right? You do realize that Martin Luther King was a socialist. That's a fact. He was a socialist. I believe he found out later what the party was truly about. And I believe that's the reason why he's not here no more. And it's going to keep it real. I'm talking about Dr. Martin Luther King, right? Because before it was all this. Remember, he said that I felt like I'm leading my people into a burning house, which he knew he was via the Democratic Party, right? It was a Trojan horse. When they got to 64, what is it, the Civil Rights Bill, that Civil Rights Bill is not the original Civil Rights Bill. This is why black men especially was passed over, right? Because you had white women that was in that bill. She counted as a minority. Black women was in that civil rights bill. She counted as a double minority. Title IX, right? You had these policies, right, that was actually given to women of different minority groups that never they benefited off of the civil rights. Do you realize that other minority groups that never been oppressed, never had any situations with whites in this country, but how is it that they're in the civil rights bill? The NAACP is inactive, right? Because they're in the back pocket of the Democratic Party. Look at it. Urban League, they don't do anything. Jesse Jackson and all them. It's it's just what I said. The clown thumbnail that I put up there is a reason for this, right? Because this is what you get when you vote for these parties. This is exactly what you get. You ain't gonna get a lot, you know. Let's say I'm smoking coke in the '80s. I'm better now. Yeah, I'm glad you better now, man, because coke ain't no joke. Coke, no joke. Say no to coke. Say no to cocaine, man, because cocaine is a powerful drug, boy. Just learn. If you don't know that by Rick James, man, you say cocaine is a strong drug, man. It really is, man, because they have you doing all kind of stuff. We don't need nobody. You know, a lot of politicians are still on that cocaine, especially in the dope era. Shoot, you know what I'm saying? Just ask Hunter Biden, right? Somebody had dope up in the White House, and we know who that dope may belong to. Got cocaine. At least he can afford the powder and not crack. You know, you got to be doing something to afford the powder as opposed to crack. Crack is a poor man's drug, right? Look at this stuff, boy. I tell you, man. What the? Mm. Man, I'm glad y'all came into the room today. You know, I was gonna do it as a live as well too, but I thought it was fitting with this clown show. You know, if I lose the signal a little bit, I'm going under a tunnel. I'm gonna try to get out of it as quick as I can. Ooh, boy, boy, boy. Ladies and gentlemen, lost the connection. But no, but when I did it earlier, talking about Chuck Schumer and all them, that's exactly what it is. These are millionaires controlled by billionaires that run the country. This is why you've been voting for these people. You think that, I mean, there's a reason why they don't do nothing. All they know how to do is smile. You got to be more than just a smiling politician. I don't want you presidential. I want you to do stuff. Do stuff for the people. Taking the power from the government and giving it back to the people. It's the people that they're supposed to represent, not billionaires. And they're representing who? Billionaires. This is why we are in a situation. This is called fascism, right? This is exactly what it is, right? This is why. Are we getting any get back today? Absolutely. I mean, here's the thing about it, man. Until the people start waking up for what it really is, and they're trying to fool you and push this socialist BS Marxist stuff over here. You know, many of y'all been in America for a long time. All we know, we don't know anything about. I know things about socialism, but this has never been a Marxist country. They're trying to turn it into one. What's the problem, ladies and gentlemen? I gotta pick somebody up, y'all. A lot of times I'm a, but I gotta do the privacy. Times like I'm a, but I gotta do the privacy thing again because I'm about to pick my client up. But I just wanted y'all to see my face a little bit, my handsome face. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's dark under here, man. They got me in the tunnel. Yeah, I got to pick up a passenger and run her back home. But I'm gonna do this later, guys. So stick around. But we're gonna have this conversation again about these clowns and stuff because it's about time that we start telling the truth, ladies and gentlemen. But I thank y'all for being a part of Some Random Guy. Once again, I'm your host, Tony, and things. So, who's handsomer, me or the handsome liberal? No disrespect to the handsome liberal, man. He's all good. All right, guys. Y'all take care. All right. I'll see y'all later. Peace.